Perfect. Perfect. Perfect.
Hey, real quick, before we get into this, I want to give a special shout out to my friends at Overtime for sponsoring this video. Their iOS app is taking sports content to another level for the next generation of sports fans. On their app, you're able to get live box scores, quick stats, and the latest updates on your favorite players as they perform. You can even click and get some of the latest stories on your favorite teams and other news around the different leagues. You can play in daily pools, make picks, and challenge your friends and others to prove your sports knowledge as the best. You can track these predictions in real time while watching games and stay up to date on how you're performing each and every week. Guys, I've downloaded this myself and I'm already enjoying all the innovative features and my own successful picks. Go ahead and check out the Overtime app by clicking the link down in the description. You will not be disappointed. What is going on, everybody? I go by RB and welcome back to Philly Take with RB. You know what to do. Smash the like, hit the subscribe, and hit the notification bell. That way you're always up to date whenever I upload or go live. Be sure to check us out on Apple Podcasts and Spotify. And with that being said, we got to get right into it, man. So today we're back talking Sixers. A few of our main contenders, the LA Lakers and the Brooklyn Nets, go out and make moves. And now everybody thinks the world is collapsing. They think the floor is falling from beneath us. I'm here to tell you today, it is not, and we're going to talk about it a little bit more. So to get started, man, we might as well go over the move. So a couple days ago, if you've been living under a rock or you just don't pay attention anymore to NBA basketball, and I wouldn't blame you with the whole refs thing going on, but the Brooklyn Nets go out and they signed the likes of LaMarcus Aldridge to pair him up with Kyrie Irving, James Harden, Kevin Durant, and Blake Griffin, who they also acquired via the buyout market a couple weeks ago. So now that is the Nets starting five, and everybody's calling it the greatest thing since sliced bread, okay? And then after that, yesterday, and by the way, both these guys were sitting out for a while because their teams didn't want them to play because they wanted to lose. And another guy, Andre Drummond, who's been sitting out for what feels like forever with the Cavs, finally gets bought out. And he signs the next day with the Los Angeles Lakers to pair up with LeBron James and Anthony Davis. Now, first and foremost, I want to say, is this necessarily fair for these guys to be on teams and then a couple days after the trade deadline to get bought out and to just sign with whoever they want for a vet's minimum? The answer is no, okay? I mean, I'm not going to sit up here and cry and complain about it, but I'm just being honest. It's really not fair, and if it was my team, I would say the same thing, right? Like, we know, you know, LA is getting up there, right? Andre Drummond hasn't adapted to the modern, you know, game of the center, right? Can't really shoot a lick, but these guys aren't worth vet minimum contracts. We know that, right? Like, they took a pure discount to come to a place where they can ring chase, essentially. They think they can ring chase. And, you know, at one point, I'm thinking, and I'm like, I can't fault these guys because this modern, you know, day and this modern age of how we think and how we view these players and how we go online and we type and we talk smack, like, we kind of invalidate these guys for not having a ring, right? So a guy like Aldridge or a guy like Andre Drummond who's trying to get that ring, you know, I mean, They just want to win. They just want to win, and they'll probably test free agency next year, the year after. And, you know, they're here trying to optimize their possibility of winning a ring before their career is over. At the same time, I'm going to hold my position, though. It's not fair. It's really not. And it's funny, the Nets still have another spot they can sign someone. It's just ridiculous. You pair up five guys on the same team who have made the All-Star game 5 times or more in their career. And it's like, really? Really? Like, the NBA is just going to allow that? But nonetheless, Aldridge goes to the Nets, and they have this best 5 of all time, according to everybody. And Drummond goes to the Lakers, and now they have a front court of him and Anthony Davis. So you guys let me know what you think. But look, man, the sky is not falling for the Philadelphia 76ers. See, if you're a part of Sixers Twitter, right? And I get pulled into it because I tweet about the Sixers all the time, and I hate it, right? But I get pulled into Sixers Twitter. You just can't listen to it sometimes, right? I mean, people are coming at Daryl Morey. They're coming at this and that. Oh, you guys gave this player to this team. You guys let this happen. You didn't do this much at the deadline, and now you let this happen as a result. I mean, come on, bro. Come on. Aldridge, there wasn't even a report for Aldridge to sign with the Nets or even consider them. So I think we can take that out of the equation, guys. Like, again, the rule's not fair, but we can't do anything about it. But Sixers Twitter, the way they overreact is something different, man. Like, they're saying the season's over. Why even play anymore? The Nets are going to easily sweep us. Like, it's really annoying. I saw one person say that the Lakers aren't going to lose in the playoffs. Like, really? Really? But anyway, the Philadelphia 76ers all year have gotten disrespected by the media. Okay, they have, and I'm here to say it. Like, it's just a Philly thing. We always get disrespected. Our stars are not as polished or developed into their career like a LeBron James, like a Kevin Durant, so they're not going to get the same attention. And here's what I want to say. I absolutely love this. This takes us off the map, off the radar. We've been playing ball all year, sitting atop the East. You know, like I've been saying, let us be the underdog. Don't give us any prime time. Don't give us any attention. That's fine. Just wait for the results to show up. And this is going to even optimize even more. I mean, I'm watching the shows today. Oh my gosh. I mean, they're literally calling it the Lakers versus Nets finals of 2021 already. Like, they're not even giving it a shot for anybody else to make it. And all I do is sit back and laugh. I sit back and laugh, and it's just going to keep continuing. So let it go ahead and happen, and we'll see how things turn out. Now, I'm not going to sit up here and be absolutely delusional and be just a biased Sixers fan and say, you know, we can easily beat the Lakers and Nets. The answer is no, we can't. But I do think we stand as good or more of a shot compared to anybody else going up against these teams. And I think given the star power and given the additions, right, of a guy like Aldridge and stuff, they're automatically going to favor the Brooklyn Nets because of the star names, because of the star talent. And like I said, they just have those brand names. But I give the Sixers shot as good of a chance as anybody. I give this team a high chance to go to the third round and go to the finals. I really do. And here's why. Number one, people seem to forget during this stretch where Joel Embiid is out. But by the way, this team has been playing absolutely inspirational without Joel Embiid. I mean, they're still winning games. They're still sitting atop the East. Haven't lost that spot yet. And people seem to forget that the Sixers have the most valuable player in the NBA. We have the most unguardable player in the NBA this entire year. And anytime your team has a man who has been the best player in the league all year, I know he's missed some games, but if he is healthy, we have the most unguardable player in the league thus far this season. And there's really not a lot of debate on that. I mean, Joel Embiid has been sensational, right? So he's been out. The team has been playing inspired basketball. Number two, we have the best defensive player in the entire league this year, aka Ben Simmons. Simmons can guard 1 through 5. He's versatile, and he has locked up some of the biggest names this year and made them look like clowns, to be honest. Made them look like they're just regular average NBA players. We've had the best defensive player in the league this year as well. And number three, man, the pressure is mounting up for the Brooklyn Nets. And I'm talking about like sky high pressure. I'm talking about like all time pressure. Like if the Nets don't win with this squad, that's what they're saying. If the Nets can't put together a chip with this squad, all hopes are going to be, everything's going to be let down. And I love it, man. Give us the underdog. Like I've been saying, this window for the Sixers is opening up over the next couple years. And, I'm not going to say the Nets don't have that either, because you got Kyrie for a couple more years. You got Harden, you got KD, even though you are paying those guys 40 mil, 43 mil, 35 mil, right? You're paying Joe Harris like 18 mil. So I'm just being honest. Like if the Nets don't win this year and a guy like Aldridge or Blake Griffin, they're not going to take another discount to stay. If they go and test free agency, all I am saying is that it will be pretty hard for the Brooklyn Nets to kind of pull in some of these quality role players, unless they want to pay a ton and, you want to go into the luxury tax and all that stuff. But to be quite honest, the pressure is mounting, and it's mounting. And you know what happens sometimes under pressure? You crack. Sometimes you crack when all hopes and aspirations are leading up. I'm just saying. And I would also like to add that there's still one concept that people don't seem to understand, and it's chemistry. There is an element of chemistry that is so important. It is, but it's the same people that say that coaching doesn't matter. It's the same people that say you can just throw anything together and no matter what, it's going to work. Most times, a team that wins the championship has some of the best players in the league. There is no doubting that. But what I'm saying is when you put together, when you manufacture a team mid-season, right? And a couple of those guys have been out. KD's been out for a good amount of time now. When Kyrie has taken a couple trips off from the team, right? And James Harden has to run with the squad. And, this guy gets hurt. This guy gets hurt. Now you add two new pieces who, by the way, when stars, right, or former stars in the league have this mentality where they say, oh, I'm a star. I'm Hollywood, right? I'm the big name. I need to have the ball in my hand. It's kind of hard when you have five guys. Like, you have to learn how to delegate and you have to transition in with each other because not every guy is going to get 10, 20, 30 touches. Kyrie can't go and have 28 shots in a playoff game with James Harden also having 30 shots because then there's KD and then there's Joe Harris and then Blake. You see what I mean? Like, there's an element of chemistry, and I just think, a lot of people don't watch the Sixers. I mean, you got people talking about the Sixers like they're just a piece of trash. I saw someone, and you guys would probably know who this is, on TV today, talking about Andre Drummond, saying this is the next biggest thing of all time because this man is shooting 53% from the field. Andre Drummond doesn't shoot the ball. 53% is on layup. I mean, you can't buy into everything you hear, okay? And like I've been saying, the Philadelphia 76ers, if you've been watching these games, if you come into the live streams and you watch me every single night, this team has the chemistry aspect, the chemistry component figured out. And that's a huge attribution to these players, but as well, Doc Rivers, because he has these boys meshing together, and it just seems like one player flows off of another player. Even when Joel was putting up 33 a night when he was healthy, and he's playing like an MVP all year, you still got Tobias contributing. You still got Simmons doing big things on both sides of the ball when he's aggressive. You got Danny Green now filling into his role. In my opinion, people are saying, will the Sixers, will the Bucks, will whatever team be able to live up to some of these juggernauts? My question, the way I'm actually looking at it is, will the Sixers upon themselves be able to maintain their level of shooting? That's really what it comes down to for me. Are we going to hit shots consistently in the playoffs? Is Danny Green going to live up to what he's been doing lately on this hot stretch? Is Seth Curry going to be consistent? Is George Hill going to be able to come back and be helped? That's really what it comes down to for me. There's people out there that think you can just put together 3 isolation scores and then you can put together 2 more all-stars that are from the buyout market and everything's just going to mesh. I'm telling you it's not. And they have a rookie head coach and it's going to take some time. It naturally will. Maybe they will over this next stretch of the season, but I'm telling you, it's going to be hard. You can't just manufacture these things together with all these big names at one time. And that's the point I'm trying to make. The Sixers have as good of a shot as anyone because this core is intact. We are playing a certain brand of basketball, and it's just special. There's just a special kind of feeling, and, we don't play iso ball, right? Don't try to tell me about isolation ball when I've seen look at what James Harden did with Houston. Isolation ball doesn't win a championship, right? I saw Kyrie implode a team himself because he didn't have the chemistry with Jaylen Brown and Jason Tatum. Those guys were the best, most talented team in the East that year. The Celtics for 2 years there with Kyrie Irving, and they played better without him. When Terry Rozier came in, they played better. The Celtics, that's another example, right? KD and Westbrook in OKC, right? Even in Golden State, not only does chemistry affect with how you play, but it affects with your team and how guys are able to mesh overall, right? The Warriors had to split up last year or the year before because Kevin Durant and Draymond Green did not get along. Now, no matter what you think, they just had a chemistry issue in that locker room. They solved it like men and they went on their way. So, let them keep sleeping on us. The media will continue to doubt us. They'll continue to disrespect us. But at the end of the day, man, this is going to be huge for the Sixers, and let them keep sleeping on us, man. I'm not as worried as other people. I think the Nets are a juggernaut. I think Daryl Morey is still going to make the necessary adjustments. He's going to go out and get a guy or two during the buyout market. I do think and I do believe he will do that because he knows it'll make the team better. But the Sixers have, like I said, an element that a lot of other teams don't have, and that's the chemistry, that's the feel to it, and that's the togetherness that they have been playing with all year. So believe in your team and look at what they've been doing all year. they've been holding up, and I think we will continue to do so. Those are just my thoughts on it, guys. You guys let me know all your thoughts down below in the comments section. What do you make of these two moves? Are the Sixers toast? Will they be okay? Let me know all your thoughts down below in the comment section. Appreciate you guys for tuning in. Be sure to like, comment, and subscribe, and I'll catch you on the next one, man. Peace.
Perfect.